Dame Dash lawsuit against Camron is dumb. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen. I might be here for a while. So what I want to do for the very first time is get to the point really quickly for those that really want the quick fix. Dame Dash is allegedly suing. He put up a letter on his own page. He's suing Camron for $300 million in a defamation lawsuit. Now, the key points of this, many people are debating that this lawsuit started because Camron violated by dragging Dame Dash's son, I believe his name is Boogie, if I have that correct, Boogie Dash, into the conversation of these two guys' online beef. And allegedly, Dame Dash says that Boogie hit him up, called him and said, "Dad, guess who's giving me money for an interview?" He said, "Who?" He said, "Camron. Camron wants to give me $5,000 for an interview." Dame Dash proactively went to the internet, made a video talking about how low that was, that Camron was getting at his children, one of his children, his child. And he was trying to manipulate his child and turn him against his family to get inside and destroy his family. And he went up on the Breakfast Club and said, "Charlemagne, do you think it's right for someone to include someone's family?" And I watched a couple of YouTubers and they're like, "Yo, he's getting at his family. That ain't right. He's getting at his child." Well, I want you guys to know, let's understand the full picture of this story. If I have the right name, if I have the right son, if his name is Boogie Dash is 33 years old. He is a grown man. He is not someone you're going to be able to manipulate against his dad. He's 33 years old. I believe he should be able to do an interview. First of all, you don't even know what the interview was about. Second of all, if your situation is as tight as you make it seem, because you're Dame Dash and you look out for your kids and it's rock solid, you should have been like, "Go ahead up there. As a matter of fact, tell him give you 10. I don't know how the pure essence of him going up for an interview is some kind of insult. All of a sudden, if this guy goes on an interview with Camron, your family will be destroyed. Dame Dash, we got a lot to talk about because it don't make no sense to me. Your son, if anybody could be able to go up there and defend you and the whole family. He's 33 years old. He's not a child, not a little kid, not a teenager. He's not in college. This is a full-on grown man that has things to promote. So it probably would have helped him to go up there and promote his stuff. He could have gave Cam the old 1-2-1-2 brush off and promoted his stuff. It don't make no sense that you're coming at Cam, but you're still salty. Let's just be honest. Now, we all know Cam was doing it in a facetious way, but your son is old enough to go up there and flip it and bounce it and use it to his advantage and defend his dad. So I don't know how we're getting into a lawsuit for $300 million. We're talking about Dipset clothing line, which I went and Googled. I said, when did Dipset clothing line begin? Whereas Dame Dash is making a lawsuit today in 2025 for Dipset clothing line. Do you guys know that Google can't pinpoint the exact creation of Dipset clothing line, but it's the early 2000s, like very early, like 01, 02. So we're talking about something that is arguably 25 years old. And now Dame Dash is doing a lawsuit to get ownership of Dipset clothing because he's a little upset at Camron right now. Now, I'm not going to get into everything that was said. I'm not going to get into everything that was done. I'm not going to sit here and go tit for tat and tell you everything that Cam said to Dame. And that Dame said to Cam, because I personally don't really care that much. I'm just going to be honest. This story was going on for weeks. I did not cover it. I did not cover it because I thought it was silly, petty, Two grown men going back and forth over silly shit. Whose house is bigger? Who did this in Harlem? This, that, and the third. I'm from the block. You got ran off the block. He didn't like Mace. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, really, at this point, it really ain't that serious to me. I'll read it. I'll watch it, have fun, laugh at it, but I'm not going to sit and waste my time trying to break down everything that Dame said to Camron or vice versa. But what I do know is they said a lot of mean things to each other. As late as last night, they were still going back and forth. They were playing the dozens. So all of a sudden, you're defamed and you need restitution. Dame Dash just coming off the worst Breakfast Club interview. I'm going to say this, gang, I'm a little disappointed because, well, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. What it is, and I have to come to the realization that we as a culture and as a people, and as a human race, we're more divided than ever. We're more divided than ever, and we can't agree on the basics of things, gang. I'm seeing videos saying Dame Dash destroys Charlemagne in the Breakfast Club. Now, most sane people know that Dame Dash didn't do anything but make himself look like a fool. But I got a lot of people, I'm going to say a few people, that were very receptive to that interview, and they thought Dame Dash killed it. They agreed with everything he said. They locked, stocked, and barreled. And this is where I have a real problem with this whole thing, because some people are applauding this $300 million lawsuit against what was supposedly, wasn't like 2 months straight. They kept saying, but I love Dame, but I love Mace, but I love Camron. They kept saying, I love this guy, that guy, and the third. That's my man. We brothers, da-da-da. I said in my last video, I think I said in the last two videos, they're not friends. These guys ain't been friends in a very long time, if ever. They're not friends. They've been playing patty cake. They've been acting like they're friends. They've been acting cordial. They've been trying to keep that friendship alive. These ain't friends. And this guy just dropped a lawsuit on him, trying to take everything from him. Dame literally told him, I hope you don't have no houses in your name, because they're going to be mine. Coming from the guy who owes a bunch of money and everybody's trying to take his house. They just had an article in the New York Post today that a lawyer came out, an attorney said that Dame Dash declared bankruptcy because he has $5 million in lawsuits from various people that he's trying to avoid paying. And he's been doing a whole bunch of tactics over the last umpteen years, right? He's been doing a bunch of tactics to avoid paying for any of these people back. So that's the real reason that Dame declared bankruptcy. And see, he went up on the Breakfast Club, and I told you, Charlemagne is not equipped. Charlemagne was just up there to play the dozens and get a couple viral moments and get a couple shocking memes out of it and call it a day. He wasn't up there to really dig and delve into Dame's business. First of all, you know Dame was going to sit there and spin and lie, but he didn't even try. He didn't even try. He's ill-equipped to deal with Dame Dash. Dame Dash is lying every single solitary day. Every time he goes online, he's trying to puff up his chest. He's trying to live out this old Harlem hustler deal. And it comes out every time you let him talk for more than 10 minutes, he's going to say something about Harlem. He's going to say something about dealing drugs. He's going to say something about real nigga. So it's like all goofy shit. It's starting to get sad, gang. I'm almost about to change the word. OG used to be your original gangster, or this, that, and the third. Or your OG had turned into a guy that was supposed to give you wisdom. Now OG looking like old goofs. Because everybody that we're calling OG, they turn to goofs, gang. I don't know how Dame Dash is anybody's OG. Was he supposed to be Camron's OG? Now he's suing him for $300 million, which is going to get thrown out. And we're going to talk about the lawsuit because it's dumb. But he put up a post and he called Camron Fredo. Still talking about this Fredo. Nigga, how many times you watching this movie Godfather? Come back in the real world, gang. There is no Fredo. It's a fictional character. It's a fictional movie. It never happened. So you're carrying this Fredo. You said Fredo every single day. You're talking about Fredo this, Fredo that. Nobody's betraying you, gang. You want to play the dozens with niggas and they ready for it. So when you want to clap and do this, that, and the third, everybody online, you're in the comments. You're too old to be in everybody's comments. I don't know if you know, you're way older than these guys that you're beefing with. These were your little niggas, like Mason them say. We not your little niggas. Back on the block, they was your little niggas. These grown men now with a lot more money than you, and that's why you're suing them. Let's be honest. If you had $300 million yourself, you wouldn't even waste your time with this lawsuit. Dame Dash is strapped. He's hurting for cash. We all struggling right now. It's a rough year. The economy's fucked up. But Dame Dash is not handling this well whatsoever. Dame Dash literally went on that Breakfast Club and said, Donald Trump declared bankruptcy 6 times. And you're going to tell him he's not a smart businessman? No, he's not. He's a scammer. And with this lawsuit, you're a scammer. Just going to be honest. Okay? Don't quote a guy there's a known scammer that got a whole bunch of lawsuits that lost just like you. Really, the only reason Donald Trump ain't in jail is because he is the president. Let's just be honest. But I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to keep my eye on the sparrow. On the Fredo. But what we're getting right now, gang, what we're saying is the true person that Dame Dash is, a petty, vindictive. He's suing for shit that was said back when Rockefeller Records was around. This lawsuit is ridiculous. Dame Dash sat down. There is no lawyer on this letter, right? That he did this lawsuit. There is no lawyer attached to it. Dame typed this up at his desk and put it online. But we're going to treat it like you wanted it to be treated, like this is a real lawsuit. It's not a real lawsuit. It's not even a letter of intent, but it's just some shit he made up. But we're going to treat it like it is because it's the biggest sucker shit we've seen in a long time. We saw the bubble bath rapper do this lawsuit thing, but we could have never imagined you would do it against. So he at least have half of excuse. Okay, he's going against UMG. You're not even going against a conglomerate. You're going against your man. Used to manage him. Am I bugging out? Children of the Corn. I used to manage them. Him, Big L. Like, didn't you used to manage them? Now you're looking for money from them over words. We're going to get into the lawsuit. But what I'm thinking, gang, I was like, yo, 2015, Dame Dash went on that Breakfast Club, had a whole lot of stuff to say about money and things of that nature and what his son do, this, that, and the third. His son's cookies. His son was a chef and he had his own restaurant and all this good stuff like that. And Dame was the big brolic boss. I was like, something must have been an award in 2015. I said, let me think about 2015. What's going on with all these OGs from 2015? 2015, we had Lord Jamar, right? I looked it up. He had the phone book challenge. Lord Jamar was a G. He was like, instead of putting money to your ear, do the phone book challenge. Make a phone out of books and read some books. He was trying to change the culture. Now look at Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar is almost as bad as Dame Dash. I call Lord Jamar a D-list supervillain. Dame is becoming a full-on. Dame is becoming Lex Luthor if he didn't have no money. If Lex Luthor was on the verge of bankruptcy, he would be Dame Dash. But he's smart. Lex Luthor, he's going to get you, right? And I was like, what else happened in 2015? Oh, Dr. Umar. He had that great interview on the Breakfast Club. He was talking about ADHD in our children. He was talking about special ed, how they're damaging these kids, throwing them in special. I'm going to be honest. I believe that was the interview that impressed me about Dr. Umar. 2015. I was like, man, this guy's cooking. Now look at Dr. Umar today. 2015, I was like, damn, wasn't that the year Drake was killing? Ain't that? Yeah, that's the year that Drake killed Meek Mill with back-to-back. That's the year that Drake was cooking. If you're reading this, you're too close. Drake was Drake then. Full body, big bone, all that, right? Now look at him. In a lawsuit. His numbers are lower than ever as far as his new music. We're not talking about the old shit. We're talking about the new shit. Can't get a break. Can't catch a break. Mad, spiraling, doing videos. He's going online with 20-year-old streamers. Trying to save his career. Sitting in the bed with a little white girl. Drake doing bad. He looking crazy out here. Doing Pinocchio and all this kind of stuff. It's a long way from 2015. I'm like, what the hell happened? And these last 10 years, it's only been a decade. Some of these guys that was really on top back then is looking crazy right now. And Dame Dash is in front of all of them because Dame Dash was on the Breakfast Club with his son's cookies and he was talking about all these movies he was about to do. Now he got a post on there with a picture of Honor Up with him and Camron on it together. Which means he's trying to sell that movie to Revolt, which he claims he's still trying to buy after this nonsense that he pulled. So Dame Dash is still claiming he's going to buy Revolt. You'd be lucky to get a meeting with them guys. You'd be lucky. But here we are, $300 million lawsuit that's on his man that's supposed to be, yeah, I love you, this is my brother. I told y'all guys this shit in 2025, none of this shit, ain't no more loyalty. You just saw Dave Blunt's turn on Kanye. You see all the shit that young Thug was talking about. Everybody he knows. The only reason there ain't more tapes because the daggone county courtroom said there ain't gonna be no more tapes. They stopped the bleeding, which was probably at the behest of his legal team. Let's just be honest. But ain't nobody loyal right now, gang. And this thing with Dame Dash turning on Camron for money. Dame Dash like this doing a Birdman hand rub, gang. If I get that 300 million, he like, man, if I get a judgment for half of that, I'm good. Dame like, I can get a judgment for a third of that. Knock out a lot of these bills. See, Dame Dash don't really want nobody saying the real stuff like you're living off of your wife's money. Shit like that. He don't want to hear that. That's a trigger. And that's what Camron made the mistake of saying. Right? He brought in his son. That's a trigger, right? Because Dame's relationships with his family, they're fragile. Let's just say that. A lot of you watch that growing up hip hop, and a lot of you seen that episode with him and his brothers and sisters. They can't even have a conversation without screaming and yelling. Right? Am I bugging out? I ain't saying nothing defamatory yet. All this stuff is public knowledge. But Dame don't want to talk about that stuff unless he can get in front of it and spin it. I don't know who still believes Dame Dash, but some of you are out there, and it's kind of, you know what? You guys got the right to believe whatever you want. But I went in the comment section. I was watching another YouTube creator. He was talking about this situation. I went down in the comment section for shits and giggles, right? Shits and giggles. I think it was Choke No Joke. And I went down in the comment section. He was live talking about Dame Dash lawsuit. And I went down in the comment section, gang. You wouldn't even believe it. They all in the comment section. They all for this. Get him, Dame. Get his money. I don't know what's happening in this society, but I don't condone it. I can't feed into it. I know that most of the people in the comments do not represent the bigger picture. The bigger picture. But at the end of the day, there are people who think this lawsuit is A-okay. This is the world we living in. That Dame literally just turned on his man that he claims to love. He's in all his movies and this, that, and the third. They got paid in full. One of the greatest classic, like absolute black classic. When you get a stack of DVDs, you say, all right, 25 DVDs, must have, paid in full is in there. Paid in full, so fuck that, New Jack City, B Street, Color Purple. Like, it's in there, right? Can't take that away from neither one of them. Cam got shot over that damn movie. He said, Dame, I don't want to say I give up some DC niggas. Cam, we always knew that when Cam went, shout out to my dudes in DC. I don't know why they do what they do, but that's where I'm from, gang. But Cam went down to D.C. He was at a legendary nightclub down in D.C. He had the Lamborghini, and some dudes ran up on him. Wasn't even trying to rob him. They were trying to get at him for saying in the movie, paid in full, I tell on a couple D.C. niggas, but I'm not giving up nobody from Harlem. Cam said he told Dame several times, I didn't want to say that in the movie because the D.C. niggas gonna hate me. And Dame was like, it's a movie, Cam, you're acting. Well, the D.C. niggas didn't get the memo because they came up and shot him, right? Might have been in front of Legends nightclub or one of them nightclubs down there that I've been to all of them, right? So they have a classic movie together. They're never, ever going to be separated in that regard, but you don't sue your man. Let's just be honest. It doesn't matter what kind of bag Camron is looking at, and that's the thing. Camron is looking at some really crazy bags, and your boy Dame Dash is a little bit jealous. Let's just be honest. Cam looking good. He got his teeth white. Everything he's doing really well. He got a show after the show after the show. This guy can do anything he wants. He's doing really, really well. He's always trending, right? He got this thing where he come with 50 Cent, and this is what Dame is really looking at. He like, yo, there's some big bags coming out down the pipeline. He already got this. Let's just talk about how crazy it is for him and Mace to even be on a platform together. They took that crazy, wonky relationship, healed it, and came up with an idea that was immaculate. It is what it is. Nobody saw it coming. These guys are like, fuck that. We're going to get a real set. We're going to wear a suit and tie. And we're going to talk like grown men on some sports shit. And we're still going to do what we do. Lo and behold, the shit works. And for a time, it was good. And Dame Dash is like, why I can't do that? Because Dame don't have it Dame don't have the, he can't sit there and really talk because he's backed himself into a hole with all this chatty patty shit that he goes around talking all this, yo, you can't talk about another man. Well, you can't be a podcast if you can't talk about another man when you're not in the room, Dame. The whole world has changed, gang. Nobody's talking about somebody being a chatty patty no more but you. And some of the cocky mamie people that follow you. But Dame, this is a whole new world. It's entertainment. It's called current events. And when you talk about current events, it might be a person that's not in the room, Dame. But people want to hear other people's opinions about current events. So for Dame to ever make it in this society, he got to let go of the old one. Well, guess what? Dame just opened up, quote unquote, a lawsuit that he's talking about Rockefeller Records. He's talking about Dipset. Dame can't let go of the past. He's an OG, an old goof. He can't let go of the past. He got a whole lawsuit with everything he's been mad about for the last 20 years. Dame has made a lawsuit against his man. These guys know where each other live. They online talking about your house ain't this. That's your house. These guys, see, Camron is not ever going to let you one up him. So he's going to troll with you. Never in a million years would he thought this would have came out into some paperwork. Right? We saw Drake do the unthinkable, but this even worse. Right? It's even worse. This supposed to be your man. Drake and Kendrick ain't got no love for each other. And Drake and UMG, that's a business relationship. This supposed to be we Harlem. You used to watch Cam dribbling the basketball. Now you trying to get $300 million out of him? First of all, first things first, they already broke down what it's going to cost you to even file this lawsuit and follow it through. It's going to be like $70,000 to $100,000 to follow through on this case, which you don't have. You already said out your mouth, every time you put something in your name, the IRS puts a lien on it. So you can't put nothing in your name. So you can't even act like you got this kind of money. You're hiding money in the family room or whatever you call it, the family office. You even got the family office on this paperwork. What's going to happen when he reverse lawsuit your ass with this shit? Which is surely what's going to happen. I don't understand, but at the end of the day, people are getting it twisted that Dame has the right to do that. Everybody got the right to sue somebody for anything. But at the end of the day, this lawsuit is frivolous. It won't make it. It won't stand the smell test. First of all, the judge going to be like, no. You guys are back and forth all day, slandering each other all day and all night. You said 50 Cent patted him on the ass when he clearly said 50 never did that. He can reverse the shit and be like, that's defamation. So no, this thing is not going to work. It's just like the Drake lawsuit. This shit going to get tossed. Now, you can stretch it out, this, that, and the third. Why would you? But we know the play. This is probably never going to get filed nowhere. This is for trolling. This is to get, yo, Dame is coming out to Camron's money. To get us to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it. Because for you to even put this up, it's weird for you to have all the morals and the old sensibilities that you talk about every day. For you to come up, I'm going to sue you for talking about me, talking about my wife. My wife is this and that, third, da, da, da. You mentioned my children. What children? This guy's 33 years old. I want to have a conversation. I'm going to get out of here, man. Because it just don't make no sense, man. I'm just going to be honest. We're getting too old for this. The first one talk about loyal and then do the most disloyal bullshit. It's weird. Let me read this, man. Dame Dash has filed a $300 million defamation lawsuit against the rapper Camron, alleging the Harlem artist made false statements that damaged Dame's businesses and personal reputation. The suit, filed by Dash, his partner Raquel Horn in the Dash Group, accuses Camron of defamation, business disparagement, torturous interference, unjust enrichment, conspiracy, and harassment. According to a demand letter circulated on social media through Dash Dusko Poppington brand, why you would circulate this through social media tells you everything you want to know, right? This is a play for clout. This is a play for attention and to steer away from that disastrous interview where he said a lot of crazy things that will surely get him canceled in a lot of boardrooms, a lot of things disparaging about gay people and everybody else. So that's going to get him knocked out of a lot of upcoming business deals. He's probably trying to deflect from that, but let me continue. The claims stem from a series of remarks and actions attributed to Camron, The letter states that Camron publicly disparaged both Dash and Horn, undermined the Dash Group's credibility, and attempted to exclude Dash from a cannabis venture he helped establish. But he only going to sue for this when he's getting mad. When he actually be going back and forth with Cam for weeks. But when Cam been one-upping him like he's been doing every single time they clash, Cam been getting the best of him. Now it's a lawsuit, and you want money for that cannabis venture. He basically claiming, if you listen to this, he's taking credit for every single move Cameron's ever made. The cannabis, the Dipset, Rockefeller, everything Cameron's ever done, Dame is saying it was me. Let me continue. It also alleges that Camron improperly acquired ownership stakes in the Dipset clothing company, a business Dash co-founded, and revealed confidential discussions with Rockefeller Records that damaged Dash's professional relationship with Jay-Z. So now Dame Dash is blaming Camron for him and Jay-Z falling out. That could be true, that could be bullshit, but at this point, you can't open a lawsuit about nothing so ridiculous. I'm just going to be honest. There's no way you can open a lawsuit about what Camron said to Jay-Z back in 2002. There can't be no paperwork on that because it won't go nowhere. It's silly. You're trying to establish a precedent of him fucking things up for you, but you messing things up for yourself just putting this out there. I'm just going to be honest. Your reputation going to be really sour in Harlem. You have a lot of explaining to do. Let me continue. Dash is seeking damages for reputational harm, emotional distress, and lost business opportunities. His legal team is demanding Camron remove social media posts, issue a public apology, and cease further statements about Dash. So he wants him to delete all his posts that he ever said about Dame Dash, right? Mind you, Dame Dash just went on the Breakfast Club and said, I don't care what people think about me. I'm not afraid to show my flaws. I don't get embarrassed. He just said that on the Breakfast Club, and it will be brought up in court if you do make it to court. You just said you don't care what people say about you. You just said that on the Breakfast Club, but here we are. 2 days later, you got a lawsuit about what people said about you. This is Dame Dash, gang. It's American New right here. Right there, live in the flesh. This is what we get. Let me continue. The filing also seeks to compel Camron to provide Dash with ownership rights in the Dipset clothing company and the G5 Pink Mink cannabis business, along with the full accounting of profits and preservation of related communications and business records. So he wants all of his records about his business, all of his profits and losses. He wants all of their communications between each other since they started the clothing, the Dipset clothing line. He wants 20-some years of communications. He wants all communications with the G5 Pink Mink cannabis business, and he wants a full accounting of profits and this, that, and the third for anything else, right? Now, the problem with that is you're never going to get that. You have no reason to get that. You have no, once again, there's no paperwork. He came up to Breakfast Club, told them that he was going to be the chairman of Revolt, and it was locked in, and he was going to buy Revolt. Came out, what his evidence was, his lock and stock evidence was a random message he was texting with the CEO of Revolt. The text was convoluted. It didn't even say much. And he asked about ownership, and the guy said, yes, they were talking about two different things. Dame was talking about ownership of Revolt, which he never disclosed in the text. And the guy was talking about ownership of your own content. Honor up. And bosses take losses. They were talking about two different things, but Dame Dash went and was like, yes, I'm about to own Revolt. Then went on the Breakfast Club telling them he waited. I waited to reveal this information because I wanted to spring it on you guys and show you that I'm still the big bone boss, Dame Dash. Come to find out, he was never, ever going to be the chairman of Revolt. He was never going to own it. But let me continue. The lawsuit highlights the deterioration of a once close business relationship. Dash and Camron, both key figures in Harlem's music and fashion landscape, collaborated on ventures that connected hip-hop with streetwear and lifestyle brands. Their partnership, however, has unraveled over time, leading to ongoing disputes that have spilled in the public sphere. So for Dame to be a smart businessman, as he claims, sound like he never get nothing in writing. Sound like he never has a contract. He's doing a handshake deal, spitting the hand, and then they shake hands, right, on some goofy shit, and he never, ever gets nothing because he claims everybody's taking. Jay burnt him, Camron burnt him, everybody burns him, and he's sitting there broke $25 million in debt because everybody burns him. Then all the shit he tried to try without these motherfuckers, that fails too. So for some reason, everybody burns him when they do business with him, just like this director who he did the movie with, then he shorted him and stormed off the set and started calling him all kind of things on social media of all places, which is the problem. Social media is getting this guy's burning this guy like shit. Like, please, wake me up when you fucking throw your phone in the toilet, because this guy is killing himself on social media, right? But at the end of the day, all these businesses that he supposedly got a hand in, right? This is Suge Knight all over again. This motherfucker, I did this, I did that. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have no fucking MC Hammer. All this crazy shit, right? Just weird ass fucking shit. I hung Vanilla Ice off the balcony. That's how you got fucking Straight Outta Compton. It's like it's all these damn stories and shit, right? But at the end of the day, this guy doesn't have his business in order ever. And this is why we're here. Once again, Dame Dash is doing some goofy shit to try to get a bag. Well, you ain't gonna get no bag, old goof. It ain't gonna happen. Let me continue. The complaint underscores Dash's broader financial pressures, suggesting he is seeking redress for claims that extend beyond simple reputation management. For Camron, the case raises the question of whether disputes rooted in hip-hop culture can translate into significant legal and financial liability. What they're saying is, if we're talking junk on social media, on some old school hip-hop shit, we're just doing the dozens, can you now be sued for that? This is the can of worms that Drake is opening, and now the OGs, the old goofs, are falling right into it, right? Let's just continue so I can get out of here. With $300 million at stake, the lawsuit represents a significant escalation of the feud. Whether the matter results in damages, settlement, or dismissal, the filing signifies or signals that Dash is prepared to pursue his grievances through the court. Gang, let me just say this for the record. Dame Dash is corny for this. This is yet another, I don't know what's going on in the water in 2025, gang. We're seeing some of our, like, I'm not going to say legends, but some of these guys are iconic, and some of these guys have put their foot in this game, but it's starting to look like Dame Dash was never smart. He just was a bully. And in the 90s, you could bully yourself into the game. We saw Suge Knight bully himself. We saw Diddy bully himself. We saw Dame Dash bully himself into these offices. These people didn't know how to come. They didn't know how to equip themselves, da-da-da. Then guess what? They started getting doors that lock. They started figuring out we're going to have security in the hallways. They started figuring out we don't got to be scared of these motherfuckers, right? And they slowly pushed Suge Knight ass out of the way. They pushed Diddy ass. Diddy had to fend for himself and start doing all kind of other shit, selling some rock, this, that, and the third, because he wasn't going to get it by bullying these damn record execs, this, that, and the third, and all the shit that came with it, right? So here we are with a guy still trying to use this Harlem mentality or this drug dealer, old school 1990s shit that we've been learned was not equipped to get you nowhere in life. Like we learned, man, listen, be honest, man. Niggas learned in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, all that rough and tough street shit, and I did this, and I had bricks in the trunk. All that shit sound good on rap records, gang. That's it. Other than that, you can't carry that mentality into no boardroom. That's why everybody got away from Dame Dash. That's why Leo Cohen told Jay-Z, you're better off without this nigga. He ain't growing up. He ain't learning shit. He dragging you down, and he fucking was. And I love the people that's like, Jay a snake. Jay fucking... He backstabbed Dame Dash. Dame Dash was backstabbing his goddamn self because he's not a good business person. He's going to bring the whole business down. Coming in the boardroom, yelling and screaming. That's not how you do this shit. Right? Every fucking day, getting a fucking haircut. Like, every time you see this nigga doing an interview, he getting a haircut. Nigga, you got a bald fucking head. Why you getting a haircut every fucking day? But that's the kind of shit this nigga does. It's like, yo, as we got older, right? And when I was younger, I wanted a business. I wanted to figure out how to do this shit a certain kind of way. You work your real jobs until something comes up and you grab it and you take advantage of it, right? I started to learn how to make money in this hip hop stuff by doing hip hop shows and doing things of that nature. And I ate off that shit for like 15 years, right? I did all that shit, but I had to learn and figure it out, da-da-da. I'm like Capadonna, fucking Killer Priest, fucking Styles P, Slaughterhouse. I can go on and on. K Solo. Like, fuck, I had great shows and I had trash shows, right? But I did a lot of work in this game. And I had to learn the business the hard way. But one thing I knew you couldn't be was a fucking asshole. Okay? Dame seemed to didn't learn that. Dame still wants to do this thing where he's this barking ass nigga from the block. Well, let's just, I don't know if y'all niggas know this shit. Let me tell y'all a secret. A lot of them niggas that act like that on the block is fucking dead. Or doing long ass bids. Or got out of the bid and looking crazy in these streets. So all of that big brolic and tough, and I'm on the block and I got bricks in the back. A lot of them niggas got locked up for them bricks that he's still talking about. I had 3 bricks in the back. It was me, Big L, and Cam. And Cam started crying in the car. Nigga, what you telling this story for? What you trying to tell this story for? You're trying to emasculate him, talking about he was crying in the car. Well, he's a basketball prospect. He wasn't a fucking drug dealer. You fucked him up by doing that. Dumb nigga. You telling a story where you almost fucked his fucking life up. Well, it was a checkpoint there, and sometimes they stop me, sometimes they don't. But I had 3 bricks in the car, so I said, guys, yeah, I got 3 bricks back there just so you niggas know. The fuck you mean? You telling a story like you was cool, like that shit was cool. You, what's going on, old goof? Come on, man. You shouldn't have gave the niggas a ride nowhere, these little niggas. And you throwing them in the car with 3 bricks in the back. You know how dumb the story sound, gang? First of all, Camron already said you wasn't cool with Big L, so it never happened. But you know how dumb it sound? If you, let's talk this street shit for a minute, right? Because I know this shit too. You know how dumb it would be to be riding around Harlem with 3 niggas in the car instead of by yourself, sitting up with both hands on the fucking wheel? Obeying every street light, not going down a checkpoint street that you know is a fucking checkpoint street? You think they're going to pull over first 3 niggas in the car or 1 nigga by himself with a fucking cardigan on just minding his business? The 3 niggas in the car going to be very suspect. Okay? Just a little FYI, some side note for these goofy ass stories that the old goof be trying to tell. All right? But I'm out of here, man. Listen, the lawsuit, if he ever files it, which I doubt it will get filed, he's not gonna be able to keep the money. He might get the money from somewhere. He might file it and he might make a whole spectacle out of it. Because let's be honest, if he can force Cam, see, it's not gonna be Cam. It's gonna be the people that insure Cam. They got insurance on Cam. They got insurance on his show. So he may be thinking I could force them to settle. Even if they settle for 10 mil, that's 10 mil. So right now, he not even playing. This ain't even about Cam. This guy's trying to play the long game where, okay, I can force the hand of the people like Revolt that's backing him, right? Like when Diddy paid Cassie, it was an insurance company that paid Cassie. The people that run that station, the people that's in bed with him had to pay Cassie, not Diddy. So Dame Dash might be thinking, I can get a bag out of whoever's behind Cam. Be it the station, be whatever he got going on, maybe I can get a bag out of that. So that's what Dame Dash is thinking. End of the day, the lawsuit is frivolous, it's goofy, and it ain't gonna work. You defamed yourself by half the shit you say. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. That's my whole take on this. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live. Me, TJ, and Fliz. We talk about hip-hop and urban situations, cultural events, gang. All right? Let me know what you think. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high-quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat. Get my sheepskin. Grab my wallet. Get my pocket knife. And get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw a 6-pass easily. 6-man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.